Hello there and welcome back. It's me, Alura. This video is going to be about the truth behind Easter. And while I know that I've taught my students very well over the last decade or so in this line of work, there are still so many people out there that don't know beyond the confinements of religion that there really shouldn't be any diversity. We all believe in the same things. They all interconnect. That's why I hope that some of you out there that are new to the channel or new to my teachings will check out my book, The Veil of Illusion, The Rise of the Antichrist, on Amazon. It goes into so much detail about all of that, as well as how things interconnect in this reality that we live in. And it gives you such an enlightened perspective in how to look at things in life. It'll change the way that you live. It really will. With that, I want to thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for the engagement, and thank you for being on this epic journey called life and spirituality with me. It is always a joy. For those of you I've forged good relationships with, even if we don't get to talk all the time, you're always with me in spirit as I am with you. I carry you with me in my heart everywhere that I go. I really do. So thank you newcomers and those that are loyal returners. And I hope that you enjoy the video. Share it and spread that light and help other people to advance in knowledge and to let go of the things that keep us separate. Easter was shared by many.
Easter, Ostara, and Holy are all vibrant springtime festivals that celebrate renewal, rebirth, and the arrival of warmer weather. These festivals have deep spiritual significance, often marking the beginning of the year in various traditions. Historically, many cultures viewed spring as a time of new beginnings, which is reflected in the timing of these celebrations. Easter, celebrated by Christians, commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ, symbolizing hope and new life. Its timing aligns with the arrival of spring, reinforcing the idea of rebirth. The origins of Easter can be traced back to earlier spring festivals that celebrated the return of life after winter, connecting it to the broader theme of renewal that characterizes this season. Ostara, named after the goddess Eostre, is a pagan festival that celebrates the spring equinox. This time of year symbolizes balance, as day and night are of equal length, and it marks a turning point in the year. Ostara reflects ancient beliefs about fertility and growth, as it is traditionally seen as the beginning of the agricultural year, when seeds are planted and life begins to flourish once more. Holi, a Hindu festival, also heralds the arrival of spring and the victory of good over evil. Celebrated with vibrant colors and joyous gatherings, Holi symbolizes love, joy, and the blossoming of nature. The festival's timing aligns with the end of winter and the onset of warmer days, further emphasizing themes of renewal and celebration. The significance of these festivals also ties into the zodiac. Traditionally, the zodiac signs shift in April, aligning with the renewal of life and the start of the astrological year. Many ancient cultures celebrated the new year in spring, before the calendar was changed to designate January as the start. This historical context enriches the meaning behind these festivals, as they not only celebrate the physical rebirth seen in nature, but also the spiritual renewal that comes with the changing of the seasons. In summary, while Easter, Ostara, and Holi originate from different cultural and religious backgrounds, they share common threads of celebrating spring's arrival and embodying the themes of renewal, joy, and the beginnings of a new cycle, both in nature and in the spiritual realm. The celebrations of Easter, Ostara, and Holy are rich with spiritual significance, each associated with various gods and goddesses that embody themes of renewal, fertility, and joy. Easter is centered on the figure of Jesus Christ, the Son of God in Christianity. His resurrection is the focal point of the Easter celebration, symbolizing hope, renewal, and eternal life. The narrative of Jesus rising from the dead resonates deeply with the themes of rebirth that spring embodies, making him the central figure of this significant festival. Yet the holiday is actually supposed to represent the Virgin Mary, but then that would have been too similar to the goddess of springtime in Germanic celebrations and Freya in the Norse beliefs. In contrast, Ostara is named after the Germanic goddess Eostre, or Ostara, who is associated with spring, fertility, and the dawn. She represents the rebirth of the earth and is linked to symbols such as eggs and hares, which are traditional representations of fertility and new life. Additionally, Freya, the Norse goddess of love, beauty, and fertility, is sometimes associated with Ostara. Her connection to growth and renewal further enriches the festival's themes of life and rejuvenation. Holi, celebrated in Hinduism, is often associated with Lord Krishna, who is known for his playful and loving nature. The festival celebrates Krishna's divine love and the arrival of spring, highlighting themes of joy, togetherness, and the triumph of good over evil. Alongside him, Radha, his beloved, is also celebrated during Holi. Their love story embodies devotion and the joy of life, making them central figures in the festivities. Since Christianity was a monotheistic religion that banned any observance of other gods or goddesses or other spiritual beings, and leaned more toward a masculine rulership with a male god and male angels, it would make sense as to why they would not associate the Virgin Mary next to Jesus. It is also said that Jesus married, but yet they would not want to hint at this as having a female counterpart on the holiday either. Even though in most of the books of the Bible, his wife, also named Mary, traveled with him almost everywhere, which is symbolic of having a balance and duality. Mary Magdalene holds a unique and significant place in the narrative of Jesus Christ's life and ministry, often recognized as one of his most devoted followers. According to the New Testament, she was present throughout many key events in Jesus' life, showcasing her dedication and unwavering support. Mary Magdalene is often described as having been delivered from 7 demons by Jesus, which marked the beginning of her close relationship with him. After this transformative experience, she became one of his most ardent followers, accompanying him on his travels throughout Galilee and Judea. Unlike many disciples, she was a prominent female figure in a predominantly male group, which underscores her exceptional role in the early Christian community. Throughout Jesus' ministry, Mary Magdalene witnessed many of his teachings and miracles firsthand. She was there during critical moments, including the crucifixion, where she stood at the foot of the cross alongside other followers. Her presence during such a pivotal event highlights her steadfast loyalty and courage, especially in a time when many of the male disciples had fled in fear. Moreover, Mary Magdalene's significance extends beyond the crucifixion. She is perhaps best known for being the first to discover the empty tomb after Jesus' resurrection. In the Gospel accounts, she encounters the risen Christ and is tasked with delivering the message of his resurrection to the other disciples. This not only solidifies her role as a key figure in the early Christian movement, but also emphasizes her importance as a witness to one of Christianity's foundational events. Mary Magdalene's journey alongside Jesus and her unwavering commitment to him illustrate her unique position among his followers. As the only prominent female disciple mentioned in the Gospels, she challenges the gender norms of her time and serves as a vital link in the story of Jesus, making her a powerful symbol of faith and devotion in Christianity. Yet, they did not make much significance of her, other than to mention her the way that they did. In actuality, it should have been male and female, raised up in the religion. Instead, these hidden the female presence through symbolism. If you've ever looked at the Vesica Pisces, to symbolize the female vaginal area. Even in some of the ways that they depict the Virgin or female saints, in the middle of the Vesica, Pisces looks very much like a vagina and labia. This perspective highlights a long-standing narrative that emphasizes the balance of masculine and feminine energies and the concept of duality throughout history. When we examine the astrological ages, particularly the opposition between Aquarius and Leo, a fascinating story unfolds. Aquarius, often symbolized by a man carrying water, resonates with biblical themes, including the Lion of Judah and the Star of Bethlehem. This star, known as Regulus, shone brightly in the womb of Virgo during the time of Jesus' birth, marking a significant cosmic event. Moreover, as we consider the age of Capricorn, we see it juxtaposed with the age of Gemini. This duality is further explored in my book, The Veil of Illusion. The Rise of the Antichrist, available on Amazon. It suggests that there has been a deliberate effort to obscure the current astrological age, just as time has been manipulated through changes in timekeeping and phenomena like the Mandela effect. Our understanding of the cycles we live in has been distorted. Historically, many ancient cultures recognized that the new year began at the end of May, coinciding with spring's arrival. Celebrations during this time were common, reflecting a deep connection to the rhythms of nature. However, as Rome expanded into Europe, it assimilated these ancient traditions into Christianity to gain favor with the people. Despite the layers of deception that may exist, the truth about these cycles and their significance is everywhere. Spring is indeed a beautiful time of year, symbolizing renewal and vibrancy. As the weather warms, people feel uplifted, especially those who have endured harsh winters. Animals emerge from their dens, preparing to bring new life into the world. This season serves as a perfect reminder to celebrate the genuine beginnings of the year and the transformative energy that spring brings. These deities not only provide a spiritual foundation for each celebration, but also incorporate the overarching themes of rebirth, fertility, and joy. that characterize springtime festivities across cultures. Each god and goddess reflects the unique cultural significance of the season, tying together the sacred and the seasonal in meaningful and profound ways. Lord Krishna and Radha share remarkable similarities with Jesus Christ, which I will explore in an upcoming video. It's fascinating to note that Hinduism is one of the oldest religions in the world, predating Christianity by millennia. Hindu traditions also celebrate spring with a balance of male and female energies, exemplified through the divine relationship between Krishna and Radha. Christianity is often viewed as the great deceiver for having obscured many truths over time. While Jesus Christ is undeniably a significant messenger from heaven and a son of God, Christianity has sometimes withheld other aspects of spiritual understanding that align with his teachings. As we celebrate the beautiful beginnings associated with spring, it's important to recognize that this season represents renewal and new life. Although Christianity often emphasizes Jesus' death during this time, the essence of the holiday should focus on new beginnings. It's crucial to remember that Jesus endured immense suffering throughout his life. We should honor the sacrifices he made, but it's equally important to acknowledge that he would want us to celebrate life and the cycles of rebirth. This is reflected in the themes of awakening and the closing of one chapter to open another, which spring embodies. Rather than fixating solely on death, we should embrace the vitality of life that spring brings. Christianity's focus on Jesus' crucifixion can seem particularly grim, and it's worth contemplating the broader message of hope and renewal that is integral to this season. Another notable figure in Celtic mythology is Danu, regarded as the mother of the Tuatha De Danann, the mythical ancestors of the Irish, whom I mention in my Rh-negative videos and courses at my school truthology.teachable.com. Danu represents the earth and abundance, reinforcing the themes of fertility and growth that are central to both ancient Celtic practices and the later Christian interpretation of Easter. The Christian celebration of Easter itself is rooted in the Jewish festival of Pascha, which corresponds to Pesach, or Passover. This connection is significant because the events of Easter, particularly the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus, occurred around the time of Passover. As Christianity spread, it absorbed and transformed many local customs, leading to a unique blending of practices that reflected both the resurrection of Christ and the ancient celebrations of spring. Thus, the celebration of Easter today is altogether from various historical strands. The integration of pagan spring festivals, such as those honoring Eostre and Brigid, with Christian beliefs, has resulted in a holiday that embodies themes of renewal, fertility, and the cyclical nature of life. The enduring symbols of eggs and hares continue to remind us of these ancient connections, celebrating the arrival of spring and the promise of new beginnings. The tradition of the Easter Bunny has its origins in ancient pagan customs and has evolved over time to become a central symbol of Easter celebrations. The association of bunnies with Easter stems primarily from their strong connection to fertility and springtime. Historically, the hare has been recognized as a symbol of fertility, due to its prolific breeding habits. And in various ancient cultures, including those in Europe, hares were linked to the themes of renewal and the arrival of spring. The name Easter is believed to derive from the Anglo-Saxon goddess Eostre, who was associated with spring and fertility. Some historical accounts suggest that Eostre's festival featured a hare as a sacred animal, which likely influenced the later adoption of the bunny in Easter celebrations. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, many pagan customs were integrated into Christian traditions, and the hare's associations with fertility and new life aligned well with the themes of resurrection central to Easter. The Easter bunny, as we know it, began to take shape in the 17th century, particularly in Germany, where the Osterhase, Easter hare, was said to lay eggs for children to find. This custom was documented in writings of the time and gradually spread to other parts of Europe and to America through German immigrants. The practice of decorating eggs and associating them with Easter also ties into themes of fertility and rebirth, reinforcing the connection between eggs and the Easter bunny. By the 19th century, the Easter bunny had become a widely recognized symbol of Easter in the United States and other countries. Today, the tradition includes activities such as Easter egg hunts, where children search for candy-filled eggs hidden by the Easter bunny, as well as the giving of chocolate bunnies and other sweets. The Easter bunny tradition evolved from ancient fertility symbols and pagan customs, merging with Christian themes of resurrection and renewal, ultimately becoming a beloved aspect of Easter celebrations that symbolizes joy, rebirth, and the arrival of spring.
Don't forget that we're about to approach the Angelic New Year, which is coming up at the end of April into the beginning of May, and it's a wonderful time for rebirth, new opportunities, rejuvenation, and just to look at life with so many things to be thankful for. There are, with everything that's happening in the world all around us today, there's so much hatred, there's so much diversity, there's crime, and so much division. I just don't have the words to put it into perspective right now, but to express to you that people need to love each other more than anything in this world, but yet they aren't showing that. They're not acting on that. But we can be thankful for the things that God gives to us, and the Angelic New Year is all about that. So I hope that you have a wonderful start of the new year ahead, and I hope that you know that all of the angelic blessings are with you as God watches over you above. In addition to that, Passover, what a wonderful time to purify and cleanse and get your atmosphere and your aura in good condition, to have the divine presence called into your presence and to merge with you in a beautiful connection of heavenly light. It's a great time for that. So I hope you'll take advantage of this beautiful time and move forward positively with optimism and gratitude. Talk to you next video.